What's going on, everybody? It is DJ CJ here, back with another installment of the Dad's Office podcast by Bros Giving. It's our 14th episode. It's February 2nd, and we are here to give you some more content from some of the leading content producers for young adult life, lifestyle content, fitness content in the Poconos. I know there's not a whole lot of criteria to get put on that list, but I'm going to say it until it happens, all right? But we're here. Anyways, we're here with Uncle Brent, Captain Fox, The Archer, Richard McMaster, and again, one of your co-hosts, DJ CJ, and we just brought you two episodes, one with Zach McCambley, the Mlb Marlins, and Suave Strength founder Victor Cruz was on here talking about that. So we had some great episodes. We're here to bring you some more content. We got a lot of great stuff coming up on here soon, and we got a full episode here to start for you. So we're going to start with a brief update, and then we'll get into it. So what's going on, everybody? Tell everyone what's going on.
Grinding the gym hard still.
Yeah, with your new tattoo.
Oh yeah, my new tattoo, little 8-hour session. Shout out Dread Baby in Mount Pocono. He's the guy to go to. But yeah, if you're thinking about getting that tattoo, I would just do it and get it. Because I was thinking about it for a long time. I was like, nah. And then I was like, I'm going to do it.
Well, what was your... Alright, so we'll describe to everyone who can't see what it is.
It's a... we can post a picture of it. It's a lily with a leopard and leaves hanging over it.
Does it mean
you can't really see it like this, but...
Does it mean anything to you? Or do you just like the appearance?
I just like the appearance, to be honest. I just wanted a nice piece of art on my body.
There you go. You gotta respect the honesty.
Big decision, right. Yeah, big decision to make, too.
I guess it's kind of like a, I don't care what people think, so you can think of it like that. Like, that's my opinion of it. Like, I'm going to put this on me because I want it, you know what I mean?
I know that's like a popular question, though, with people that have tattoos. Like, what does that mean to you? Like...
Yeah, and I think if you do have a meaning, that's awesome. That's great. I want tattoos. Like, I'm going to get another one soon that will probably have meaning. But I think if you have meaning, great. If you don't, great. You know what I mean? I don't think you need it either way.
He's going to have Jorge Posada's batting average.
Could you imagine? I'm the only person ever with a Jorge Posada
stat of all time. And it's pretty interesting because how many leopards did that guy say he's ever done?
This was the second.
Second ever leopard. And he did over 50 lines this year alone.
50 lines in 1 year.
You know what's funny? So today in biomechanics, we all had to test like our 1-rep bench max with a gym to wear. And he calculated... I did, you don't actually calculate, well, you don't actually hit your max. So a light rep would be around 1 meter per second, a light load, and then a heavy load is around 0.5 meters per second. Once you get to the heavy load at 0.5, it compares it to your 0.1 time at whatever weight that was, and it calculates out whatever your max is without actually hitting it. So for someone, let's say, who's beginning like their training experience, right? If you're someone who's going into college, it'd be a way that if you have a young training age and you're not necessarily up to lifting heavy weight, you don't want to get hurt, or maybe you're just not ready to do it, then it can calculate something and give you a number to work off of for your 1 RM. Now, gym to wears are rather expensive for, maybe like a Division II or Division III program or a junior college. But at Campbell, we used like these bands, and they weren't an actual gym to wear, but you hook them up to the iPad and they work just the same. But anyways, so we all had to do it, and the one kid was like, hey, I can't do this. I can't lift. I just got a tattoo yesterday. And then Dr. Moore was like, of what? And he's like, a lion. I was like, oh, no way.
Wait, where in the body did you get it?
Forearm. Same place as you.
Alright, I'm going to debunk this myth right now. I know I always see people are 50-50 on this. Some people say you shouldn't lift the day after a tattoo or even like up to 2 weeks.
You definitely hit the gym.
Dude, I ripped it on. I did back and buys the next day, dude. And it was fine. It healed perfectly fine, so... I mean...
Yeah, it was bugging you a few days later, but...
Yeah, like, it
definitely
stung a little. Not because it's just going to, not because of the gym. But, yeah, I don't know. I think you can just rip it in the gym.
Oh.
Respect.
Would you guys ever get a tattoo? Are you gonna? What are we thinking? I don't think we ever talked about that before.
Personally, I don't think I will. It's just not my preference for myself.
Your bro's giving tatted across your back.
It's just like, I don't know. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
Bob.
At the moment, I just don't have interest in it, but maybe down the road, I'm not like opposed. We'll see.
CJ.
I think getting the Dino Das, if that takes off, that'd be a tough tattoo. I don't know where I would get it.
We'll get to that soon, yeah.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that. What else is going on? Bob, give us an update.
Basketball is going all right. JV team's competing, pretty much losing most of the time, but they're playing hard. Varsity actually won a couple of games. I was talking to Richie about it.
I saw that.
Beat Pleasant Valley pretty good last night.
Beat South, too.
Beat South, yeah.
Beat South.
Took them lightly.
Big win.
Got up big early. I think that's what happened. So
that's dope. Rich?
Just long 2 weeks at work. We renovated the floor, so moving aisles, moving aisles again, back to where they belong. But yeah, just working. Haven't been hitting the gym as hard, but still going a couple days a week. Gotta get back to it.
Yeah, you're going to be doing that new challenge that we were talking about.
Me and Bobby started that, so you'll see at the end. It's going to be at the end of February.
Word.
Nice.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
It's just a 100 push-ups a day for 30 days challenge. I've seen stuff like that on YouTube before. We're just gonna try it out, see if there's any difference while still doing our main workouts, obviously.
Yeah. And then hopefully we can get a vlog in this weekend or something.
Yeah.
I think it kind of be like a kickoff point too. You can explain what you're doing, film the first day. It'd be almost like a preseason lift for me.
Well, yeah, we started February 1st. Well, we started yesterday.
Yeah.
But that would be like 4 days in, so you'll just see if we're sore by then and whatnot. So.
Dope. And for me, I guess preseason, so working through that with baseball, and then class just started. So having a great time with class, taking biomechanics, sports psych or psychology of the human performance, which is pretty cool. Advanced topics in sport nutrition. I don't know, kind of some classes I've taken.
A lot for me to take in right there.
Yeah. I don't even know if I really need to talk about all that.
Simple that down.
About school.
Exercise science.
About 11 pounds back from where I lost.
That's awesome.
So I lost, 22 there from when I was sick, gained back 11. So we still got a little bit of a ways to go.
Nice.
But I mean, finally getting my strength back. And guys, honestly, I didn't think it was going to take that long to gain back the strength and to gain back like the size from being sick. And even when I had a point with a gastroenterologist for just my stomach problems that I had, I was like, so how long do you think it would take to gain that kind of weight back? And he's like, honestly, you're doing pretty good for what it's worth. Like usually people don't even gain it back that quick. But I was kind of taken off guard by how long it would take just to get back to where you were after being sick. Like, actually, the weight that I tested at today for that 1 RM, the heavy load I did was 225 or 220 pounds because it was like 100 or so kilograms. So you multiply that by 2.2. So I did 220 pounds on the test. And I did it pretty easy today. And 2 days ago, I actually did bench and I hit 225 for reps for the first time since being sick. So on our way back just in time for the season.
It's awesome.
So it should be pretty good. But other than that, guys, let's get right into it. So Richie brought up something interesting with Adam Schefter. So Richie explained the whole thing with Adam Schefter, and it was with Tom Brady, right?
Yeah, so first the big news is Tom Brady retiring. So originally Adam Schefter, let's congratulate him, great career. We all hated him for how long, but
so long.
He's a GOAT, so.
So wait, is he actually retired?
Yeah, he came out
and
announced it,
And it was funny, because I saw someone had posted about it, or I saw it on ESPN, and I was like, it just doesn't seem like Tom Brady would be the kind of guy that would just go down, just, all right, I'm going to retire. I thought he was going to be a farewell tour kind of guy. Like, he was going to go out in glory.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
I don't think he would want the sympathy. He's just such a competitor. I don't think you...
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Plus, I think if he went out there and competed, what's to stop him from doing another year after that? Like, how old is he? 45?
Around there, yeah.
46, exactly. Oh my God.
44 or 45.
That's crazy. And he's still, almost brought his
really
team
good.
back to the promised land.
It's funny because, like we talked about, I'm a diehard Jets fan. Same with Bobby.
Yes, sir.
But his whole career, I hated him. And the end of Sunday's drive, when he started coming back and he tied the game.
Were you pulling for him?
I was like, yep. I found out. I was like, God damn it, dude, this son of a bitch. I was like, you gotta respect this, man.
See,
I want him to win.
I used to hate that guy, but I got my piece with him when the Eagles beat him in the Super Bowl. He got us once, but we got him back, and St. Nick has the number, so.
Yeah, so all right, so besides the whole Deflategate that happened, what year was the Deflategate? 2000...
From the Colts, bro.
15 or 16 or something like that. Like my junior year of high school or something, I want to say. But anyway, what else has Tom Brady really done in his career to make you hate him?
Done? Spygate, Deflategate.
Yeah, really?
The tuck rule.
Don't want me talking about pop culture or football, man. I'm just going to butcher it.
Boys got bailed out. 28-3. How do you blow that game?
Nah.
Man has 7 rings. I mean, the Giants got lucky, beat them.
But when we
that's crazy.
But when we talk about ultimate competitors, right? So you have Michael Jordan, you have Kobe Bryant, and then Tom Brady. There's definitely a big legacy that surrounds Tom Brady and how he prepared his everyday life. And so you have the whole TB12 method. And I remember my dad talking to me about this when I was kind of beginning my journey and wanting to take everything, like take my game to the next level in high school. And he said, everything you do matters. And that's kind of the motto that we adopted here at Bros Giving is everything matters. And that's one of the things that Tom Brady talks about with his TB12. Like, everything you do matters, from what you do in the morning to what you do right before you go to bed. Your nutrition has to be spot on. There's no excuse. to slack off of it. There's no excuse to deviate if you really have a goal in mind. So that kind of brings me to our next topic. So Brent talked a little bit about in week 1, there's a little bit of a surprise topic about like a book you wanted to read. So the book that we're actually reading.
Wait, we never really touched on the Schefter topic.
Yeah, we didn't even get into it.
So here, let me do this. Can I do this first? Let me do this first.
Yeah,
We'll go back to it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
We'll get back to that.
One thing snowballed into the other. So the book that we're actually reading right now in sports psychology is Atomic Habits by James Clear. And there's actually a ton of influencers right now that have either read the book and are talking about it, for their whole New Year's resolutions that their fans and followers are asking about, and people that are actually reading it right now, posting about it on Instagram. But it's a book about habits. So as we relate it to Tom Brady, just the book goes over so many small things. So just to give you guys a brief rundown. So an atomic habit. So atomic, just like an atom, right? Super small habits that you incorporate into your everyday life that are so small you don't necessarily pick up on them down the road, like the more you do it, but they're the things that ultimately change the way you live your life during the day. So I think someone like Tom Brady, the things that are said in this book when it comes to creating these really small habits are what it takes to bring someone to the next level, right? And we're talking a lot, just like with our meeting when we're talking about Bros Giving, we're talking about setting some long-term goals, but not really setting goals, but setting up some guidelines and some regulations for us to follow every day so that it can end up benefiting the brand. So I think that's just pretty cool how that all kind of tied together. But the one question I wanted to ask is, are there any books that you guys want to read that you're going to read? Because I think it'd be good if we all like read a book over the next month and then we brought it together, talked about it, did a little conversation about it.
I have one that I saw on TikTok actually that I want to read, but I can't think of the name right now. It's this dude who teaches martial arts to kids without dads, like inner cities and stuff. I don't know the guy's name. Shoot.
Is it the one video where the kid's like crying, trying to break the board, and he finally does it? Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I don't know his name, but yeah, it's a book by him.
Yeah, that'd be really interesting. I'm actually excited to hear about that if you do read it. You guys, anything you think about reading any books? Because if you don't,
I mean, to be honest with you, I haven't read a book since the junior high school.
Oh, yeah.
I do have a book I've heard about. That's good, and I think it's called The Richest Man in Babylon. It's just like a financial
I've heard
book.
about that.
Yeah, I think that's how you say Babylon.
Babylon.
Yeah, The Richest Man. Yeah, I want to read that at some point. So.
Nice. Bobby, anything on the mind?
Honestly, nothing at the moment. I mean, maybe that book eventually. The Habits.
Yeah, I can pass that around. But one person reads it at a time. Yeah. I think it'd be cool if we did like a reading challenge over the next month or so.
Sure, yeah.
Brought it together and talked about it. But anyways, back to Adam Schefter, who initially started the conversation. Richie, give us the rundown.
So, yeah, Adam Schefter a couple days ago reported breaking news, Tom Brady is retired. And then Tom Brady Sr., his dad, comes out. He's like, his mind has not been made up one way or another if he's retiring or not. And then there's reports saying that his agent, is telling Schefter, Tom Brady will announce his own retirement, his own state of football. And they're going back and forth. And people are getting on Adam Schefter because I think just society now, everyone rushes to be first.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then 2 days later or a day later, Tom Brady officially announces his own retirement.
Yeah.
But, think about it. If you're the greatest quarterback of all time, wouldn't you want to announce your own retirement? Not getting leaked by someone else. We're not saying Schefter was wrong. He was definitely right. And it was proven that he was right. But, I feel like everyone rushes to be first.
Yeah, all right. So everyone rushes to be first. That's what we're getting into. And there's one saying that I want to bring up. And it takes a special talent and a special mind to be able to speak first on a subject, to have your thoughts organized in such a manner that when a certain question arises, you're able to execute. But it takes a different kind of discipline to wait until everyone in the room is done talking so you can hear what everyone has to say and deliver the best opinion.
Yeah, I was going to say, I like that second thing you just said because, whenever I'm in a room, I like hearing people talk first. I don't like going first, you know what I mean? I like letting things digest. Because I like hearing other people's opinions. Okay, he's going to say this. All right, how can I combat that? He's going to say this. I agree with him on that, So, yeah, I like that.
So, and then, especially if maybe it's something that you don't even want to weigh in on, or maybe it benefits you just to keep your mouth shut.
Mm-hmm.
That was definitely something that I learned, once I got into college a little bit more, and then even really the last few years where it's kind of like, all right, dude, just chill out. You're not going to lose anything by not speaking first, right? Because you want to be able to do the best job. And I think it definitely means more to do the best job that you possibly can, as opposed to the finishing first, right? So on a test, you can look at it two ways, and it's kind of interesting. So you get a test put in front of you, and you studied so hard, that you zip through the exam and you finish it right away. But is that really any more impressive than a person who gets an A on the test in general?
Yeah, no. Like in school, I was never worried about. I was never worried about people like finishing first. I used to be like, dude, like what? Like I didn't.
More
care
like
at
a
all.
competitive edge, depending on if that's something that you want.
I don't know. Yeah.
So
everyone wants to rush things. You can't rush things. You gotta let it develop over time.
Yeah, and then even just us saying that with the brand and the one topic that we talked about.
Wait, now this reminded me of Alex. Do you remember Alex? Like literally, alright, so in college, whenever someone would finish a test, right? Or like multiple people would be getting up to hand the test in, Alex is like, he's probably like halfway done with the test. And he's just staring at everyone, like handing in their test.
Yeah,
I'm like, bro, like, do your work. Like, it's so weird. Like, literally, like, if, like, and then he'll go back to it, and then like, if more people get up to hand it in, he like looks at him for like 15 seconds, and then he goes back to the same thing. I'm like, yo,
He's panicking.
I will say, it's funny you say that. The one time I did that was SATs, because this chick next to me finished in like I was like 10 questions in and she was done. Like, you know how long those tests are, so I was like, either she doesn't give a fuck, or I am not in the room I'm supposed to be in. I think my score showed I was not in the room I was supposed to be in. But yeah, dude, I was like, oh, that was the time of my life where I was like, oh my god, I am.
Dude, my first grad school exam, halfway through, I almost quit the program.
Really?
And I gotta be, dude. I was thinking there, I'm like, this test is so hard. Like, how am I gonna go get my doctorate after this? Literally halfway through the first test, that's what I was thinking. I ended up getting a B, and I got an A in the class, but I was freaking out that first test. I had never been in a situation, and now I've taken some really hard exams. But I went through that, I was like, oh, dude, I'm screwed.
The math I can end it on the SATs, you know, it's the bubbles.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't even know how to fill that out. So, like, never mind having the right answer, not like I was going to find the right answer, but I was like, dude, even if there is an answer I know,
oh, like there's like a decimal point as one of the boxes, and you have to find it and fill it. Oh, gosh,
right. Oh, man.
See, I was always...
oh, my gosh, dude, come on.
I was always a pretty long test taker, except for, like, math, because I was pretty good at that, but, like, even on stuff I did not study for at all, like the summer reading test and stuff like that. You know, some people, like, if you're not prepared, they're just like, oh, fuck it, let me just hand it in. I knew I didn't know the answer, but for some reason, I would always just sit there and just read the question like 20 times.
Let's see if I'm missing something here.
The answer's in the question somewhere.
You're like underlining stuff, you circle something, so the teacher's like, oh, I see his thought process.
Showed his work,
Showed his work, plus 1 point. That's half a point.
Well, the first letter of the sentence begins with C. C is an option. We're going to go C.
Dude, I remember Mr. Musser, we were in like Algebra 2, calls me to the back of the class in front of everybody. He's like, you got this answer, but it didn't show work. I just want to make sure there's no funny business going on. You know? I'm just like, no, I did it in my calculator.
Yeah, no, don't cheat on exams, guys. Let's not do that. Follow Rich's lead on that one.
No, I did my work.
We'll leave it there. Close the book.
But like, the dude really pressed me in front of everyone. Like, I want to make sure there's no funny
business. Oh, that's great, dude. We've had people who've like their flashcards have like fallen out of like their seat when we're taking an exam, and they fall off from out of the seat, and then it's like, oh, like I don't, and they end up getting away with it. I don't get how they cover it. I feel like if I was a teacher, I
don't even care about kids cheating, because school is just so corny to me sometimes with like the rules and like some of the test questions. I'm like, whatever it is, like.
Because it's kids, especially high school.
Kids who like tattle on other kids cheating. Shut them. Oh, dude, that is so annoying. Like, just worry about your own freaking paper.
This had to be one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. So it was my freshman year at ESU, taking macroeconomics, and we have like a big midterm exam. And there was a big class, probably like 60 students. The girl in the back, all the way in the back, has these flashcards, gets through the test, not caught, goes up, hands the test, and leaves the flashcards on the table.
Oh, no.
Like, you had one job, like, come on.
And she got caught then.
Yeah, I got caught. Like,
oh my gosh. Now, funny. When you get to college, definitely don't cheat, because again, you're trying to learn something about your occupation. You want to make sure you can do it to the best of your ability. High school was tough, just because you're sitting there.
Well, especially if you're going to like a trade after high school or something, you really just need to pass. Dude, just pass. Whatever you got to do.
Well, I had this one professor in college. I won't say at which college, because I've been to 3, but she was tough, man. You couldn't your book bags. All right, so we had these quizzes to start every single class. Okay, and the quizzes were pre-tests on the chapters that we read. So we had to read a whole chapter, like a 45-page chapter, and then we got tested on before we even learned about it in class.
I know.
And they like got and it counted for a decent amount of our grade, right? Mm-hmm. So you had to leave your book bags in the hallway. You weren't allowed to talk in the hallway too before the class. So you showed up, book bags had to stay in the hallway. You got one pencil, right? You got one pencil. Apple Watches had to be in your bag. Your phones had to be in your bags in the hallway. Because if a phone went off, then the whole class would lose a point or something like that, and you would get an automatic fail. If your phone went off, not if you were caught cheating, if your phone went off, if there was a noise that went off in the class. So this
Everybody
one time,
got a point off.
Talk about prison.
yeah. So listen, what happened? She was so bent out of shape about this whole thing. I'm like, it's not worth it. We'll sit here and take the test and not cheat. You don't have to worry about that because there's a zero tolerance policy for cheating. I don't know why you have to take it to the next level. Because this is what happened. Someone's Apple Watch's phone went ding, and she looked around. It was like a gopher. It was like one of the. It was like those people. It was like those people in an office in the cubicles when something happens, they all look up over the desk. It's literally what happened. So she's looking around, and you can see she's like, "Oh, she's about to flip out," and then you hear the phone go ding, ding, ding. So I'm just like, "Oh man." So she freaked out in front of the class and said, "If someone doesn't come forward, I'm going to take a point off the entire class's exams."
Did someone come forward?
Nope.
Yeah.
So everyone
else.
So well, here's the thing. Well, someone did, but it wasn't the person. Someone took the fall because she just sat there the whole class after she collected the exam. She's like, "We'll just sit here all class." And again, I didn't like the class, so I would have literally sat there the whole entire time. I didn't really care. But my one buddy stood up. He's like, "Hey, it wasn't me, but I'm gonna accept responsibility for it." She's like, "Oh, are you willing to accept the consequences?" He's like, "Yeah, I just said that." So she took a point off. His final grade, it wasn't off the quiz, it was off your final grade. So if you had 100 in the class, you now had a 99. If you had an A, it could have moved you to a B. That's how serious that she took this. So after class, she emailed him or whatever. She's like, "I understand you were trying to do the right thing, but I'm still going to take a point off your grade until the real person comes forward."
That's ridiculous. She's holding him hostage. Could you get sued for that?
You should not be a teacher. That's not even okay. You should not be a teacher doing that crap.
Quizzes were hard too, dude.
What a fraud system. What?
Yeah, it was. It wasn't the best.
It wasn't you, but we're not.
Now listen, I've had some fantastic teachers. It's just that whole situation was just weird. Yeah, zero tolerance policy on cheating. I get that, but someone's phone goes ding, and you're gonna punish the whole class. That was just crazy. But all right, moving on for that. So let's talk about MLB Lockout a little bit. So we were kind of watching that, and Brent, threw his hands up and was like, "I don't know what to do. Baseball really isn't doing all that well." I lost my mind
today, finally. Dude, I can't with baseball anymore. They're shooting themselves in the foot so bad. It's embarrassing.
Bring back steroids.
At this point.
Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah, Barry for the Hall of Fame.
Dude, we can talk about this for hours and hours and hours. But it's just the season started 2 years ago because of COVID, whatever. They knew for 2 years that this year was going to be a problem because they said for 2 years, "Oh, well, look out for a lockout in 2022 because XYZ, XYZ." So for 2 years you knew this was coming and you didn't do anything about it. And now we're in a position where baseball should be starting now, pitchers and catchers reporting, and they're not even close. They're not, I don't understand how you can shoot yourself in the foot that bad. Football's amazing right now. We have the best playoffs in maybe ever. Basketball's doing good ratings wise.
Yeah, the teams are balanced.
The teams are great. The league is more balanced, and there's baseball.
Just sit there because you had the cheating. You had the cheating scandal, the electronic cheating scandal or whatever. That was 2019, pandemic 2020, shortened season. Then you had the sticky stuff controversy.
Yeah.
What was the other thing? What was the other controversy? The sticky stuff and
the baseballs this year.
Yes, and the baseballs.
Bro, there's always
and now there's a lockout. Dude, there's so much drama, man.
There's so much drama in baseball compared to other sports. You don't hear anything about the NBA except for health and protocol.
It's amazing. I was talking to CJ about this. How many times can owners and players argue about money? Because all the lockouts are always about money.
Yeah. Players are getting the bag though right now.
When the stadiums are half empty. Why are we talking about money? We can't feel why does nobody know Mike Trout? He's the best player in baseball.
Well, that's a completely different issue.
The average... it's all the same shit because it's the leadership in baseball can't promote the game.
Yes,
they're worried about the money. Dude, stop worrying about the money.
Went to that Phillies game last year. Shit was probably 1/3 full.
Right, in a division race. Two could be playoff teams.
Mm-hmm. On a Sunday,
it's tough also because it's 162 games. And that's a lot. And I don't want to shorten the season, right? Because I hope to maybe get an opportunity to be able to play on that stage someday. But I mean, it is a lot of games to be able to fill up every single time. But you look back to the glory days of the Phillies, the Yankees.
Okay, and that's fine. Then you can't
on a
argue about
weekend game
contracts.
though, it should be filled.
Yeah.
Division game,
In July too.
Yeah.
no other sports are going on. Like at that point, it's just baseball.
But all right, so focus on that when it comes time. But you can't let this stuff get in the way. Like stuff like lockouts, the state stuff,
like I was
the
telling
baseballs.
CJ, they're like, oh yeah, we don't have any answers until February 14th. That's when they meet again. Dude, they should be locked in the room, the players' union and the management of Major League Baseball, trying to figure this thing out. Like, why is it? Oh, well, we won't get an answer until next week because every meeting they have,
It's
they don't even get
detrimental to the
anywhere.
sport, bro.
They're gonna cut spring training in half.
They're gonna cut baseball.
Which honestly, spring
Everyone-
training, yeah.
No, everyone's gonna come out the gate like everyone's gonna no one's gonna be hitting good. Like
No.
all the
Who's
pitchers
the
are gonna be doing
president
good
of
at
the
the
Players
beginning.
Association?
Tony Clark.
Who?
Tony Clark.
Who?
Exactly.
I'm not even lying. Who is he? Like,
Why can we name the average NFL fan and average NBA fan can name 20 guys in each league before they can name Mike Trout, the best player in baseball?
Yeah.
No,
That's sad.
what team does Tony Clark play for?
He used to play for the Diamondbacks. Now he's retired.
He's not like there's not like a current player. That's
No, why would they do that, Richie? That makes no sense.
Dude,
Remember, it's baseball. I don't think like anyone else
Yeah.
did. And the Barry Bonds thing, like
I gotta look up who's the NFL. I can't remember right now.
we could talk about the Barry Bonds thing
Yeah, run
all
through
day
it.
long.
So, question of the day: Barry Bonds, Hall of Fame, yes or no? I'm voting
Yes.
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 Well, that's
No,
75%.
damn it, Bob.
No.
That's 75%. You need 75%, right? 75% vote to get in.
Dude,
And Barry Bonds was at 60 or 65%. After, dude, you give him
I
another
think
5 years.
65.
I think he's at 65 with the 75%.
It's just like, all right, yeah,
needed.
if you put him in, then you gotta put everyone else in there.
That's
Which
fine.
I'm okay with.
And honestly, I'm okay
Yeah,
with it.
yeah.
Because
I'm
to
okay
me,
with it.
everybody was doing it, so at that point,
That's
even
it for
playing
me,
field.
yeah.
You don't have to.
So it's
well,
like-
he's also the best player. You don't have to play
Yeah,
everybody.
dude.
He's the
I-
best.
Yeah,
There's
that's
a lot
true.
of other, like,
That's
people
true. He's
who are-
undoubtedly the best
If
player
you
of all
took
time.
away all his home runs and turned them into strikeouts, he still has a higher
I saw
OBP than Ortiz,
I saw that.
and he's not in the Hall of
Yeah,
Fame.
yeah, I seen that.
Nuts, dude.
Give me a break.
So
Steroids
the
don't
stats,
train your
you
eyes.
could, they said you
You
could
probably
go like
shouldn't, to be
2
honest.
for 5 every game with like a home run and a single, and you still wouldn't have a higher OPS than Bonds in 04 or something like that. He just put up absolutely insane numbers. It is so hard in the game of baseball just to be able to square up a pitch, but to do it on anything thrown to you and be so consistent with it is absolutely
I will say
insane.
it's shocking to me that he didn't make it. Based off how many people were like pissed that
Shocked.
he didn't make it, I'm shocked that they didn't vote.
Even Clemens, dude, how many 20 strikeout games did he have? He's on the Hall of
He's like the
Fame.
most like Cy Young.
Well, here's the thing. It used to be 15 years that you had on the ballot, but now it's only down to 10. And Bonds has made some pretty significant strides.
Yeah,
to that
he could
point.
like still get in through some other thing or whatever, but we'll see.
What?
They should just bring back the whole 15 years. They should
They
give him another
immediately
5
did.
years, bro.
There shouldn't even be a ballot
A-Rod was
time
only
frame.
voted at 40%, so they say he probably won't make it ever, which is kind of. But he still has some time
That's
left.
bullshit too.
Yeah,
I'm still stuck on that Players Association, bro. It's a former player that's the president of the Players Association. I remember. I just looked up who the NFL Players president is. It's J.C. Treader. He's like a guard on the Browns. But
Yeah.
I remember that because it was the Browns-Raiders game, and the Browns got the game pushed back because they had guys on COVID, and they were saying, oh, he had a saying.
Right.
Now I go look up the NBA, and I thought it was Chris Paul, and it is. And the vice president is C.J. McCollum. But yeah, current players, both sports. Why is the guy who's retired representing the players in the MLB?
But that's baseball because
That's
baseball's
weird.
behind. So of course they would have someone that's behind and not with the times running the freaking Players Association. That's what
I
they
gotta
have to
look
do.
up hockey now, bro.
Dude, they're stuck.
Wait, what?
They're stuck.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's not necessarily in a good position. But yeah, Barry Bonds to the Hall of Fame, man. I think, especially when you look at the lockout of '94, right? So kind of a similar situation, dude. There was no playoff baseball in '94, man. The sport was dying. I mean, you had some fireworks a few years before with the Blue Jays winning the World Series and all that kind of stuff, but really, baseball's on its way down, and dudes like Sosa, McGuire, and Bonds, and really,
Saved it, probably.
literally everyone who used steroids pretty much saved the game of baseball and kind of evolved it into the game we knew today. And you can't say that Bonds was the only one using steroids.
They all were.
They all were, dude. If you look at the home run totals from Bonds' year that he hit 72 or 70,
They didn't even know what
Dude,
to
there's
They didn't even know what to
30-something
test
guys
for
over,
back
there's
then.
like 30-something guys over like 35 home runs. That is insane, dude.
What are we looking at now, though? Like, how many players hit that now?
Not
If
even
you had
not close to that. I mean, baseball's a power game right now.
Yeah.
It's the home run, it's the long ball and the strikeout, pretty much the way that you kind of look at it. But I don't think the home run totals in terms of how many guys are hitting over 30s is even close. But I'd have to look at the data on that. I don't want to jump to any conclusions, so we'll get back to that.
Was more
Last year was weird though, because I mean, like I'm not a big baseball fan, but there were some guys hitting bombs, like some random guys, like in the Mariners.
It was just insane. Here, league home run totals.
I don't know. I just know baseball's in trouble right now. Like they gotta switch something up. I'm telling you.
League.
Hopefully.
Home run totals from.
How can you have 2 delayed seasons in 3 years?
Dude, all I'm thinking right
dude.
now is like, man, we might have to make like a sports debate podcast just on the
dude,
side,
yeah.
because I could
For
talk
sure,
about
yeah,
it
dude.
all day.
I said we should start that with you and Bobby as the host, bro. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, I just don't know if
Dude,
like, the people
like
want
the
to hear
MLB
that.
lockout. I try not
they
to
need to
think
hear
about
this.
it. I don't want to think about it because I like.
Doesn't that piss dude?
Yeah. For anyone that doesn't know, I watch like every Mets game, so like believe me, if the season's delayed, I will be
That's pain,
I'll be
bro.
very upset about it. So I am not thinking about that right now.
Because then Bobby too, like you gotta look at it like this. It's gonna be another tarnished season, just like 2020. It's gonna be another like, oh well, it wasn't a full year.
There were 39 guys in 2001 with over 30 home runs.
Look up this.
39 guys. Listen to it. This is the top 73, 64, 57, 52, 49, 49, 49, 47, 45, 41, 41, 40. That's crazy.
Look up this.
Oh
year.
my
This
God.
past
And you're
season.
telling me
Well, no,
we
it's a
bombed
shortened
on
season, wasn't it?
steroids,
Or no?
No, this season wasn't. Here, 2021 league or home run totals, home run leaders.
crazy.
I know, because baseball really has some like real faces of the league right now too. You got Ohtani. Everyone knows who he is.
Ohtani and Vladdy and
Tatis,
Bo,
like,
all those guys, dude.
Vladdy. They're all more
Swag.
popular than Mike Trout,
Mhm.
which is crazy. Who's been the best player in baseball for
Maybe
years.
ever. He might end up being the
Yeah.
best one ever.
But all these guys are already more popular than him. It's insane.
All right, so
And
home run
MLB
totals.
blown.
Or Mike.
It's nuts.
There were. Alright, so there's a lot of lower 30s, like up to 33. Bunch of guys with 33, but there wasn't as many at the top, so it was 48, 48, 46, 45, 42, 39. I had to look at that a little bit more. But
Dude,
I'm
like,
just saying, dude, it was nuts.
Why do
Seeing
I
all
know
the 40s
more
and
about
50s.
Clint Frazier and Tyler Wade from Mike Stud's podcast than I do about Mike Trout?
Because you're
Yeah.
Yankees
Dude, that's what I'm
fan.
saying.
No,
dude.
not even.
If you're an undervalued baseball player, if you're
No,
Mike Trout,
not
next
even.
time you're in Millville, New Jersey, stop by in Pennsylvania. We'll put you on the
come to Bros
podcast.
Game and we'll blast it to $30,000.
Dude, we-
And
Listen,
some
Mike.
people were saying like
Listen,
it's because
message to
Trout's
Mike
not
Trout.
personal.
Message to Mike Trout. We are book solid right now with guests. Okay? But if you want to come on the podcast, we will squeeze you in.
Oh man.
This is to Mike Trout. We're going to tag him and everything, dude. Mike
Okay.
Trout, if you're home
Free merch.
and you are not happy about the lockout and you want to talk to someone about it and you got some time, dude, we will bring the podcast to you in Millville, New Jersey. Bros Giving, baby. Come
One
to the
of them kind of
podcast.
reminds
Zoom
me
in,
of.
man.
He kind of reminds me of Peyton Manning in a way.
Yeah,
Where it's like all
Family Guy.
great, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like yeah.
Family Guy. For the longest time, I never even knew if Peyton Manning was married or had kids.
Right.
Like you never seen them in anything.
But I like those mic'd ups they do. Like they show him yelling with Jeff Saturday, his center.
Yeah.
When he's like, just snap the fucking ball, and call the plays. I like that shit. Like, why doesn't baseball do more mic'd up shit? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, God forbid, dude.
Yeah.
I hate that.
That'd be good. So, definitely some good ideas, some great ideas for some future arguments or topics or debates or whatever you want to say. So, all right, so Brent had something really interesting we want to touch on before we get out of here with our closing remarks, Brent. So, bring it.
We're really jumping topics.
We're really
right now.
jumping topics here. You
But
better
if
get
you're,
ready,
if you're a
man.
conspiracy theorist, you're not going to sleep tonight. If you're like me, you go down a rabbit hole.
This isn't as bad of a conspiracy. It's just, whoa.
In 2002, this came on my newsfeed the other day. That's the only reason I found it. A group of Marines went missing in Afghanistan. So to find the Marines, a Spec Ops force went up to the mountains in Afghanistan to find them. So they come across this cave. They find all the Marine gear like scattered all over the place and shit. And the one Spec Ops dude got speared by a huge like 15-foot spear or whatever. Right? So he gets speared, dies. Out of this cave comes like this. They're claiming this giant Candor legend. He's like 15 feet tall, like 6 toes, like 6 fingers, like just a giant. Like think of a giant, like mythical creature. And like they shot at it for like 30 seconds, finally killed it. A Black Hawk came, picked it up, brought it to some military base, and then they all had to sign like non-disclosure agreements about it.
You ready? So, it says, in 2002, an elite tactical team was said to have killed the Kandar Giant, a 13-foot tall beast with flaming red hair, 6 fingers on each hand, 2 sets of teeth. In August 2016, a YouTuber posted a lengthy interview with a military contractor identified only as Mr. K in the interview. Mr. K claimed to have been present during the brutal slaughter of a killer he called the Kandahar Giant. What do we think? That's nuts. Because these dudes, I mean, if one person kind of says you're like, all right, maybe it's something like PTSD, or these guys see some crazy stuff all the time. Maybe they're just a little messed up, right? Maybe they didn't see something right. Maybe it's just all in their head. But for a whole squad to see it,
that's crazy.
And for someone to come out, dude, if other dudes come out and they talk about it, I think I'd believe it a little bit more. Not to say I don't already believe it, but that's kind of nuts.
Maybe they want to come out and talk about it, but they're being suppressed, so they can't even talk about it.
And this is what I said. So
what happened is this guy who? No, he's just Mr. K. I was gonna say we should look him up and see if he's still alive.
Mr. K.
Like
Wait, how many people died?
Yo,
How many people died?
Mr. K.
I'm not even sure. At
Come
least
up
one
and
from the Spec Ops.
Mr. K, if you're listening to this, come on the podcast. We'll blur your face out and everything because we know how to do that because we've been doing this a long
like
time.
a really dark voice and shit.
We do pitch black.
I saw the giant come out of the cave. A spear, 35 feet long, struck my heart.
Dude, he's got like crazy hair. He like comes in here, he's like, hi. He's like, not even reliable.
And this is what I was saying about Afghanistan. Up in the mountains in Afghanistan, in the Hindu Kush, like, if there was something out there that wouldn't necessarily have been seen or documented by people, they could be the area for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's crazy, but I'm not like denying it. Shit.
So my thing
who
is,
knows?
this article was published in 2016. It's been 6 years. Has anything else came out?
Yeah,
this
2022.
That's how I found it. Yeah, something came out this week about it. It came up my newsfeed.
This is crazy, man, if it actually was true.
Because I was going to say, if it's been 6 years of silence since then, one guy spoke out.
Well, dude, covert military operations, dude, some people go to their grave with things they never told their wives.
Yeah, but you think, I understand that, but do you think like 12 guys, like one of them's got to be a loudmouth, right?
I don't know. Those guys are pretty. Those Spec Ops dudes are like,
especially if they sign disclosure.
I think they're rope, dude. I gotta be honest with you, like, they're not brainwashed, obviously, but like,
they're just dedicated.
They think one way.
Extreme dedication, man. They're like, so not only sold out, but they're dedicated to the group. They're 100% bought in on what they need to do.
Might be out of respect for the guy too.
Right.
Plus, could you imagine if there was something, if the government came out and said, all right, so we found this giant, right? It's 15 feet tall. You know what that would do to the world?
Oh, people would.
People would freak out. Yeah. This whole thing with aliens. Let's say there's undeniable proof that aliens existed, or they revealed themselves to the world, right? Like, things would be thrusted. Even if they didn't need to be thrusted into chaos, they'd be thrusted into chaos. Because people would be freaking out, right? So if there were giants, right, people would be turned to the Bible. They'd be turned into the streets. They'd be just going at different people, trying to figure out what was true, even though it was right in front of them. So
yeah,
I think it's a really interesting topic, man. Yeah, maybe we'll have to go to Afghanistan and figure it out for ourselves.
You can take that trip.
We'll vlog a trip to Afghanistan.
I'll FaceTime you from there.
It's just 4 plane rides.
Now zoom in.
I'll be on the Zoom. Don't worry. 4 stints on a plane, 3 bus trips, 2 taxis, a donkey, and 3 horses to get to that. I think Nevada has deserts. We'll go out there looking.
No,
there's probably more of them.
Yeah, we'll go hit up Nevada. Go to make a stop at Vegas.
There you go.
We'll stop in Vegas.
Play 27 at the table. 27.
All right, though. Anything else? I think that was pretty good. I think we covered everything we wanted to cover, right? That was pretty good. Cover everything from the Mlb Lockout to some motivational stuff with building habits. Tom Brady,
little something
Giants.
For everybody in this one.
Little something for everyone in this one.
Definitely want to get some feedback though, like what segments people like to hear.
Yeah, we'll
so we can build off
we'll put up some polls this week.
Yeah, so answer them, guys. So go on. We're always looking for your input, right? We want to hear what you guys have to say. But before we get out of here, I just want to bring a quick update with the fitness brand. We're going to get that up and running this week, so we're going to be looking to do some of that, maybe get some of our first merchandise pieces ordered so we can wear that, see what you guys think about all that. Ooh, very, very exciting, very exciting.
Hey, thanks.
And then also, we're going to be doing a giveaway. We haven't exactly decided on the amount that we're going to do, but it's probably most likely going to be a gift card to Raw Gear or Yanni LA. So look out for that. We're going to come up with a little criteria that you have to do in order to enter. I'm pretty sure it's going to be subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the Instagram page, and maybe something else, and share on your feed. Mm-hmm. And I think if you do that, you'll be entered in to win maybe a $100 gift card or maybe a few smaller gift cards. But whatever it is, guys, it's going to be pretty awesome. So enter into that to win. We'll get you more details about that soon. But other than that, guys, again, we'd love to hear your feedback on the podcast and what we're doing on Instagram, right? If you have a story, if you want to come on the podcast or know someone that wants to come on the podcast to talk about whatever, right? We're here for you. We're here to help you. We're all about the young adult life and how we can all improve. So if you have a story, you want to hear it, we're here to be able to help you share that message to the world, right? So other than that, like, comment, subscribe on the video on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram and on Twitter, right?
TikTok and Subscribe to the YouTube.
TikTok, subscribe to the YouTube, man.
We
Dude,
everywhere.
literally type up Bros Giving and just follow, man. If it's not, just give us the follow, give us some likes, and again, guys, give us the feedback. But other than that, this has been episode 14 of the Dad's Office podcast by Bros Giving. This has been DJ CJ, Uncle Brent, Captain Fox, and the Archer, Richard McMaster. But that's it, guys. We'll see you next week. Peace.
See you.